Hello, hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're watching from. Again, I want to thank you all for tuning in to episode 2 of the Step Out, Step In podcast. Every Monday at 6 p.m., I'll be hosting this live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn. So, to those of you who have already subscribed to my YouTube page, I say thank you. And if you haven't yet subscribed to it, I want you to please do so. And when you subscribe, don't forget to click on the notification bell so that anytime I post something, you'll be notified of it. And again, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is David Gyawu. I'm a pastor, a person of faith, an author, a husband, a father to my wonderful and amazing biological and spiritual children, and I am a friend to many. Um, in this episode, in episode 2, I'll be talking about your knowing your how, your why, sorry, knowing your why. And, why is a question that we ask when you want to get understanding um, to a statement made or a question that is asked. You want to get clarification, you want to get understanding. And there are certain parts in the world where if the answer to your question is no, you dare not ask why. And one thing that I've also come to realize is that anytime my children ask me an open-ended question and the answer is no, they want to demand a reason, they want to demand a why. Asking why gives you a better understanding of who you are and how things work and operate. And I believe that the reason why many people are where they are, the reason why many people are stuck where they are in their life and doing what they continue to do without making adjustments and changes is that they have not asked the why question. They have not asked the why of their existence. And but one thing that I know, and I have good news for you. I have good news for you. And the good news is you are not a mistake. And always remember this. You are not a mistake. You are not an error. And you are never an experiment. God had you in mind. God had you in mind even before He made this world even before your parents met. He had you in mind. You know, as I told you earlier, that I'm a person of faith. He said to the prophet Jeremiah that I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. Before you were born, I set you apart and appointed you as my prophets to the nations. You know, God had to remind Jeremiah, had to tell Jeremiah that before he was a clot of blood in his mother's womb, and he knew him. Not only did he know him, but before he was born, he chose him and he set him apart as a prophet to the nations. And it's the same way with you, that God knew you, God had plans for you. That is why you're still here. You know, in the book of Ephesians, chapter 1, I said I'm a person of faith, so let me quote some scriptures in here. In Ephesians chapter 1, Paul says something to the church of Ephesus, and he said, even before he made the world, God loved us and chose us in Christ to be holy and without fault in his eyes. In other words, Paul was telling the church of Ephesus that God had thought of them. And thinking about them, he chose them. He loved them even before he made this world. You know, my question to you this day, this evening, this afternoon, this morning, depending on where you're watching from, is why did God create you and why are you here? You know, I believe that this should be a question that we should ask ourselves every day we draw breath, every day we have a heartbeat in our chest, every day we have blood flowing through our veins. And have you ever sat down and asked yourself this question, that why am I here? Why was I born? And why was I the only one who beat my potential siblings and won the conception swimming race? Just think about it. You know, over 100 million sperms are released at every conception, and but only one fertilizes the egg. And have you thought of it that one out of the 100 million was you? Think about it. And that tells me that you are a good and the best swimmer. Anyway, this is just by the way. Now, God created everything for a reason and for a purpose. And so were you also created for a reason and for a purpose. Purpose is a reason a thing was created or made. And the purpose for a thing that is made is in the mind of the Creator. You know, when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. Why do I say this? For instance, if you give a 1-year-old $100 bill, the first thing that 1-year-old would do is to either put the money in the mouth or rip it apart. But give that same $100 bill to either a 15-year-old child, and they will have many plans for it. They will have plans either to save it or to spend it. They're not going to treat it the same way as the 1-year-old would do. So, when God created you, there was a specific task, an assignment that He had for you. You know, every one of us has a specific task and assignment. And it is only you and you alone that can accomplish this assignment. And that is based on your God-given abilities. You know, that is why you're so special. That is why you're so amazing. That is why you're so unique. Because there's a why for your existence. In Proverbs 19 and 21, from the New Living Translation version, it says that you can make many plans, but the Lord's purpose will prevail. You know, you might have your own plans, you might have your own whatever you're planning, but God will every now and then interrupt or intercept your plans because He has a purpose for you. He has an amazing purpose for you. You know, if you're still struggling to identify your purpose, I humbly suggest, or should I say, I highly recommend that you go to your Creator, God. You know, many people have, and some continue to abuse their lives because they have not identified their why. If God knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb, if He knew you before the foundations of this world, thought of you, and has plans for you, He will reveal to you the reason and the purpose of your why. You know, I said in 2020, during the pandemic season, I had the opportunity to write and self-publish my first book, Step Out, Step In, and this podcast is based on it. And in knowing your why will also allow you to step out and step in to the reason for your purpose and existence. Step out, step in to know and understand your why in order to live a very productive life. You know, in the next couple of weeks, I'll be dealing with the other parts of it. And this is going to be a weekly podcast, which every Monday at 6 p.m. will be coming live. It's also on the major podcasting sites. And you can also check out on that. And this evening, I want to thank you for tuning in. And if you're watching the replay, I also want to thank you. And also to remind you, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube page, please do so. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so that you'll be notified. Follow us on Facebook, like us on Facebook, and also follow me on LinkedIn. And I also want to say that if you want to support this page, there's a link in there which says buy me a coffee. You know, I'm a coffee drinker though. Buy me a coffee. It's just $5, less than a Happy Meal from McDonald's, so that we can do amazing things with the money that comes in. We can promote this page. We can help other people. And so click on that link, buy me a coffee, and let's do this. But just before I sign off, I want to do this real quick, and I will be right back. Watch your space and stay tuned. All right, so for a copy of the book, as I mentioned earlier on, you can get it from Amazon.com. It's only $5.99. So I always say that if you buy it, it's going to bless me, and I believe it's going to bless you as well. Amazon.com, step out, step in. You can get a copy from there. All right, and I also want to and if you're looking for a Bible-believing church, family-oriented church as well, within the Stafford, Fredericksburg, Quantico, Dumfries area, I want to personally invite you. Be my special guest this and every Sunday at 2 p.m. All Nations Church, Virginia, and we currently meet at 1449 Courthouse Road, Stafford, and the time is 2 p.m. I'll be looking forward to meeting you in person. So be my special guest this and every Sunday. I can't wait to meet you in person. And I also want to introduce my spiritual father, Dr. Frank Ofusopia. He hosts as Ambassador of Hope every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Now, Ambassador of Hope is, as he tells us all the time, it is not another church service. This is a live YouTube and Facebook thing he does. And these teachings are life-changing and destiny-shaping. It will help you in your spiritual, personal life, as well as your career, your business, your education, and many more. If you haven't subscribed to his YouTube page, please do so. And when you do so, don't forget to click on the notification bell so that you'll be notified. Ambassador of Hope on YouTube and Franco Fusopia, the official, on Facebook every Tuesday at 6 p.m. And finally, I want you to watch this.
This fall, on November 19th, 2022, in the state of Georgia, the Son of Hope, Prince Kissy, brings you the atmosphere of worship at All Nations Church, Caris House, 781 Athens Highway, Loganville, Georgia, featuring the dynamic Tommy Favored, Reverend Denzel Prempeh, the sensational Nana Ajor, also Pastor Joe Asma.
He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
Hosted by the Son of Hope, Prince Kissy. These five are set to bring you a 5-star performance on November 19th, 2022 at All Nations Church, Caris House, 781 Athens Highway, Loganville, Georgia. Hosted by the Son of Hope, Prince Kissy.
All right, so that is a few things I just wanted to mention. And on November 19th, please let's all support. It is time for us to support our own. Our brother Prince Kissy will be hosting this Atmosphere of Worship 2022. It is not a concert, it is a worship experience. And we have Reverend Joseph Asmore of All Nations Church in New Jersey. We have Reverend Denzel Prempeh, Tommy Favored, and Nanajua. And these are true worshipers. I mean, worship is what they do. They were born for this. Let's go in and let's experience the presence of God with us. With that said, once again, I want to thank you all for tuning in. And if you're watching the replay, I also want to thank you for supporting this podcast. And thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And please don't forget to share. Don't forget to comment. And if you have any questions, let us know. And same time, every Monday at 6 p.m., we'll be meeting same time, same place, and watch the space. And until we meet again next week, Monday, God willing, I wish you a wonderful and amazing week. And may the Lord continue to keep you and bless you. And again, thank you for supporting the Step Out, Step In podcast. And until we meet again, have a wonderful and amazing week. Just to let you know, I love you